Hi guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Happy Thursday. I would say good morning, but it's not morning. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's aware of Orson West and Orrin West, the little 3 and 4-year-old boy who disappeared from California City. So if we go back to, they disappeared on the 21st, supposedly, of December. So if we go back to probably the 23rd or 24th of December. Sorry, guys. That was my phone. Did you hear that? Hello from the other side. It's a little joke. That's my ringtone. Okay, so anyway, let's get serious. So probably from the 24th, 25th, maybe 26th, when I first saw this case, I immediately got a few things. Unfortunately, I didn't feel like they were still with us. And there was definitely something about the adopted mom and dad that I couldn't put my finger on. So I took some notes. Let me read over some of this stuff, okay? So initially, their birth names were Classic and Sincere, which I like those names. I think that's cool. So they were in foster care with Trezol and Jacqueline West. And I don't care if I mispronounce their names because they're irrelevant, okay? So don't give me crap. They went on to adopt them, right? So apparently they had 2 biological kids, 2 foster care kids, and now Orrin and Orson. Okay. I'm not going to go into their mom. Her name's like Ryan Dean. I'm not going to go into her because it doesn't really pertain to what I'm talking about. I feel bad for her, of course. My God, how could I not? But I don't know the story behind her losing the kids. There had to have been something to that. I'm not here to judge. I feel bad for her. I know she's hurting. I'm sure she's hurting, So, okay. So I'm going to kind of mix in some things that I was getting and some questions that I had concerning this case, okay? So, who dat? I'm doing something different this year, y'all. Look at me. So I hope you like this style. Okay. So supposedly, according to, I'm just going to call him Trey. How about that? According to the adopted dad, Trey, December 21st, the boys were outside playing while the mom was wrapping presents, and he was throwing wood over a fence, apparently, because it was cold. And he stated in the interview that it was cold. So immediately, my question was, if it's so damn cold outside, why would you leave 2 little boys, 3 and 4, outside? You know what I mean? I don't know. In today's day and age, I don't understand how someone could just say, I want to leave the little boys out back. Even if there is a fence, even if the fence was closed, you don't know nowadays. Like, somebody should have been there watching. We have a little boy across the street. He's probably 2. He's probably 3 now. And he literally comes downstairs, opens up the door, and I'll see him like out walking through the neighborhood, right? I'm like, what the? And supposedly a bunch of people have said something to the mom and dad, but yeah, it's sad. It happens. But how can you do that? Like, I just could never do that. Even when my kids were little, we had a park down the street. We lived in like a townhouse community, and we had a park down the street, and the kids would want to go out and play. And I always walked down there and watched them, right? And there was even one time I was in the basement doing laundry, and I heard the door open, and I'm like, what the heck? Now, this is before I got smart and put a little latch up at the top of the door, right? So my kid, he was our youngest. He was like 4. Opened up the door, figured out how to open up the door, and took off running down to the park. Scared the little crap out of me. Anyway, so yeah, I don't get this. Oh, let's let the 3-year-old and 4-year-old play outside. Even though it's cold enough that I have to get wood to build a fire. I don't care if you even left them out there for 20 seconds. That's BS. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So they have 2 biological kids and they foster kids before. You know how freaking kids are. Come on, you know? All right. Another question I have. Why were the other 4 kids taken into custody? Why? You know, that leads me to believe that the police know more than what we know, okay? Because why would you just automatically take these kids into custody and take them away from their parents? You know, the only parents I guess they've known recently, you know, because 2 are foster and 2 are biological. Not to mention the foster care system everywhere is overworked and underpaid, especially in the state of California. For God's sake, there are so many cases, you know, so you're going to take these kids out of their home and put them in foster care. Why can't they stay with the parents? Well, they can't stay with the parents because apparently the cops know more than what we know, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then I have had a pounding headache and an upset stomach all morning. And so I've tried to focus on other things, you know, to see if it would calm down. And it gets worse. And then I start seeing things. I start seeing things pertaining to these little boys. And normally when I get this feeling, it's because that's whoever's deceased, that's the pain that they felt. Okay, so I'm empathic, so I get that pain feeling, and I can't shake this today. I've been really nauseous, and my head's been pounding, and I mean, it does ease up, but then something will pop in my head and it starts again. So, okay, so I was seeing these 2 little boys. I know the dad and mom supposedly own a van, but I was seeing them in what I thought was an SUV. All I could see was that the driver was definitely African American. I could see the back of his head, okay? So that was the other thing. When I first saw the mom and dad in their interviews, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And I'm sure you all know that feeling. And here's the other thing. From the very beginning, when I first saw their interview that the kids were missing and all that, I felt that one of them was covering for another one. So I felt either the mom was covering for the dad or the dad was covering for the mom. And when I say that, I mean, one of them participated in their disappearance and, in my opinion, their murder. Look, if I'm wrong, if these little boys are found safe, which I pray they are, I'll apologize, 100%. But I can't shake it. I don't think they're alive. I don't. Okay, here was the other thing. I kept getting, the proximity, I guess, that I was getting and that I was seeing of where these boys are wasn't I know they've been searching around these little boys' their neighborhood where they live in California City. I don't feel like they're right there. I don't feel that. I feel like they're 45 minutes, an hour away. I feel like they're off in the distance. And I do feel like it's desert area, but I do feel like they're not right near their house in California City. I don't feel that. Here's the other thing. I felt like they had been moved, and I don't know why I'm feeling that. I do feel like they were moved at some point. The other thing was, I don't feel like they suffered for a long time. I feel like it was pretty quick that they went. So I was seeing financial problems. There were financial problems surrounding these 2 kids. I don't know if that's the adopted parents were having financial problems or if the biological mom was, having financial, I don't know. But I do know there were financial issues all around, right? Okay. So here's the other thing. When I saw the interview and I saw the parents talking about them, not once did I hear the reaction of a normal parent. For example, God forbid this ever happened to me when my kids were little. I would be like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm so scared. I'm so worried about them. They're so little. It's cold out. You know, they haven't eaten. They're lost. It's dark. They're scared. They're afraid. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, I didn't feel like the adoptive parents talked about them like you would talk about your child. It was like it wasn't loving. It wasn't said out of love. It was, oh, they're rambunctious. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Every 3 and 4-year-old is rambunctious. That's what you get with toddlers and little guys, you know? I mean, hello. You know, you have 4 other kids in your house, supposedly. 2 biological and 2 foster. And you've apparently fostered other children, so everybody knows kids are rambunctious at that age. What a stupid ass thing to say. Like, why did he say that? You know what I mean? Like, in my brain, I was like, something's not right. And even with the adopted mom, not once did she say, you know, I'm worried sick about my babies and I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, they thanked the people that came out and searched, like, oh, thank you so much. It means so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you to all the nice people. Thank you. Whatever. That means nothing. That means zero to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's just putting on a freaking act for the camera, basically, is what I feel. This is all my opinion. It's coming from my head and my heart, y'all. Not anybody else. Don't sue me. I'm broke. I don't have any money. I am broke. Okay, the other thing. Again, can I just stress that when the adopted dad said, well, it was cold and I needed to start a fire. Can I just say again, no shit, Sherlock. You know, hello, we know it was cold. Apparently, that's why you were trying to get wood to start a fire. But why on earth would you leave 2 babies outside when it's cold? Like, I don't get it. Here's the other thing. I today started to get a couple of things, okay? Honestly, I was actually seeing like fall, okay? I'm not sure why. I don't know why, but you know, fall time when the leaves change and the leaves fall and, you know, autumn. And that I couldn't shake that, right? So I don't know what that means. I don't know if these babies went missing months before it's being said or what, but I was seeing fall. And I mean, it could be that maybe that's when things changed, and that's when I believe there was a plan in motion. I'm going to say that. I believe that there was some sort of plan, whether it was the adopted parents or somebody they know or somebody they hired. I feel in my heart that there was a plan. I also feel in my heart that the adopted parents, a lot of what they did was for show. Okay, so when I say that, you know, like, perfect example, when they said, oh, thank you to all the people that have come out to help search. That's for show, you know what I mean? But I feel like there were other steps taken that were for show. What those were, I don't know. I don't know if they thought a family member knew what was going on, so they were trying to put on an act to make something appear different, or whether neighbors, maybe they felt like they were being watched. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I wish I knew what that means, but I don't know what that means. I will do another update on these poor little baby boys. It's just sickening, you guys. It's sickening. It really, there are just so many kids being killed and so many people turning up missing. It's just sickening to me. All right, guys, stay safe. Be nice. Be good. Stay safe. And hopefully they'll find these little boys. That about does it for me, guys. Bye, guys.